them whales to dance. Heave away, my Landry boy, we're all bound to go. For the crew we are a-waiting for the turning of the tide. Heave away, my Landry, heave away. And my lads and lasses be gone again with the good westerly wind. Heave away, my Landry boy, we're all bound to go. Come, hard-working sailor lads, come, all strong lasses too. Heave away, my Landry, heave away. Be sure your boots and storm slicks are on, or Undra will drench you right through. Heave away, my Landry boy, we're all bound to go. Farewell to you, defiant spey, farewell to Hale Murdoch. Heave away, my Landry, heave away. If ever we'll return again, we'll make your cradles rock. Heave away, my Landry boy, we're all bound to go. There's some that's bound for Anchemsey, and some that's bound for Rand. Heave away, my Landry, heave away. And some that's bound for Eton.
You find yourself in cold, suffocating darkness. There is a familiar weight in your hand. A lantern. It sputters to life, and the world shifts into focus. A staircase spirals endlessly below you. With nowhere else to go, you start down. On every landing stands a door, each one stranger than the last. Some are clear, made from glass or Audra. Others still are locked with chains and bars, or stand ajar, spilling inky gloom across the steps at your feet. You hear the ringing of a small bell far above you. It is joined by another, then another. The ringing rushes down the staircase with all the strength of a river. Your lantern sputters out and you are carried down into the dark. The torrent deposits you in front of an open door carved in the constellations of Aora. Each star indicated by a small golden stud. You step inside. A wave of blistering heat hits you. Then a sea salt wind. Divine voices boom and screech. Their words shake the platform beneath you, shake the very air around you. The gods are fighting.
Lay your blame elsewhere, Wodika. I won't suffer your arguments any longer.
Mogren looms large before you, an accusing finger leveled at the melted visage of Wodika. Wodika screws her mouth into a sneer.
You fool! If only we had attacked him when I first proposed it.
Accusations drip bitter as bile from her tongue. Wal smiles.
Enmity and animus, Watcher. Two old songs we sing in well-practiced harmony. Unable to reach accords, we compete to see whose shouts best shake Aora.
The pallid knight looks down at you, a frown etched deep in her otherwise statue-still features.
I am afraid we are not at our best.
The Watcher's returned. Perhaps we should hear what he has to say.
Helia's birds chatter anxiously among themselves. Wal's many eyes alight on each god in turn.
We make little enough progress on our own.
They say, a wry smile contorting their alien features.
Is there nothing we can do?
Mogren glances at the pallid knight from the corner of her eye. After a thoughtful pause, she speaks.
The time has come for us to seize the power we have long left untouched, and absorb our scattered children.
Andra nods, her lure bobbing bright.
Terrible though it would be, perhaps you are right.
But we get ahead of ourselves. First, the Watcher must get to Ukaizo, and that will be a trial all its own.
The Guardian of Ukaizo has stood watch over that place for millennia. It will not stand aside, not even for Bareth's herald.
Helia, who had been lost in quiet, anxious conversation with her birds, breaks in.
It yet lives.
Of course. Our progenitors crafted it.
A pair of Helia's finches come to join Wow's floating eye. They hover just out of Mogren's reach and swoop in to poke her when she's not looking.
And the Watcher will be forced to reckon with it if he wishes to confront Aethys.
The birds at last linger too long, and Mogren slaps them away. They burst into a cloud of essence, then reform, and fly in a screeching chorus back to Helia.
A creature crafted by the Ingwithans to protect the machinery of reincarnation. It doesn't care much for visitors.
Will you divulge our every secret to the Kith, Mogren?
Mogren shrugs.
If it suits me.
Go prepared, Watcher. The Guardian will not stand aside, not even for the Herald of Bareth.
Where's the challenge in that?
Mogren's black teeth shine.
There is another topic we have yet to address.
The Pallid Knight holds up one gauntleted hand, and the other gods fall silent.
Tell me, Watcher, where do you stand? What do you think of Aethys' scheme to destroy the wheel?
The Pallid Knight spreads wide her hands.
Think of the beyond as a reservoir, the in-between as storm clouds, and souls as rain. When a living thing dies, its soul enters the in-between. And when the in-between grows full, it releases souls into the beyond, where they wait to be redistributed to new bodies, new lives. The wheel is the process by which souls are moved from the in-between to the beyond, from the rain cloud to the reservoir, and from the reservoir into the living world. Without the wheel to mediate the transfer and redistribution of souls, the souls of all who die remain in the in-between. And without souls to fill it, the beyond gradually empties, trapping all of the remaining souls in existence in the in-between. When the beyond is empty and the last creature on Aora dies, that is the end of everything. It is Rimergon's future, the one he wants for us. Soul essence sustains us. We feed off it, off the little fragments you mortal kiths shed like snakeskin as you pass into your next life. Without sustenance, we starve as any mortal might. We die and leave a great silence behind, an eternal emptiness from which nothing is born. How can we not? We are each of us beholden to our natures. It is how we made ourselves, just as you are bound by the choices you've made.
Tell us, Watcher, where do you stand? Let us hope the rest of Kith are not so passive and mindless as you. Aethys does not have your best interests at heart, and you will need your every wit to survive his scheme.
Aethys loves the mortals more than any of us. He has always been their greatest champion. He believes Kith will rise to his challenge. I am not so sure. but I look forward to watching them try. He found our blind spot and exploited it admirably. By the time we even had a hint of what it was he intended, it was already too late to stop him.
If we still had our bodies, we could oppose him.
Wotica balls her bony hands into fists and glares long at Andra.
Do not lay your blame on me. We set them aside after I killed Abaddon, it is true, but you did not fight the decision then.
She turns her back on Wotica then, and looks instead to the Pallid Knight.
What if Aethys is right, and Kith succeed in rebuilding the wheel? What then?
Magrin nods.
It will be the ultimate trial, for Kith and gods both.
And what if they fail? Then they die. And so do we. We have to help them.
Helia's voice rises, near to panic. Wotica drives her fist into her hand.
Help them? We should finally bring them to heel.
The Pallid Knight raises a hand and stares at Wotica until she falls silent.
Watcher, Aethys yet values your counsel.
The Pallid Knight's eyes bore into yours.
An impassioned plea from the Hound of Aethys may still temper his actions. Confront him at Ukaizo. Time moves swiftly away from us now.
The Pallid Knight spreads her hands before her.
Go, Watcher. Do what you must.
The edges of your vision begin to dim. Like a sun setting, twilight encroaches on your mind. The Pallid Knight conjures a blinding white light in her palm that swiftly grows to engulf the room. Then, the crack of thunder rends the air, and you feel the floor drop out beneath you. You come to flat on your back, staring at an all too familiar ceiling. Alone, once again.
He had his retribution. Way, haul away, we'll haul away and go. Way, haul away, a good ship now is rolling. Way, haul away, we'll haul away and go. Young Gaffin sought the Yenwood crown, long past the revolution. Way, haul away, we'll haul away and go. The watcher met him on the field, he gave him execution. Way, haul away, we'll haul away and go. Tommy, way, haul away, the good ship now is rolling. Way, haul away, we'll haul away and go. Young Gaspin sought Yenwood's crown, long past the revolution. Way, haul Shimmy, way, haul away, we'll haul away and go. Shimmy, way, haul away, the good ship now is rolling. Way, haul away, we'll haul away and
Hope you're not expecting much.
were saying?
Not even close.
Yes? Certainly.
can I do? At once. You're quite friendly, aren't you?
Whoa, that's, where would you even stab something like that?
Madiko. Is that some kind of animate?
Stay close, Ishi. That's one heavy bird.
Aye, sure, that. Whatever that be, why not?
So alone. Never alone. Kaizo reached. Where are the gates of Kaizo? We guard the silence of Kaizo. You are a disturbance. Aethys has disturbed the bones of Kaizo. The old pacts permit him to pass, but you will go no further. Kaizo is closed. The gates are barred. Our covenant with the Old Ones does not forbid questions. The living were meant to forget Kaizo. Nothing can be gained of remembering it. If your desire is to spend your last precious seconds in idle chatter, we will not stop you. The chosen people of the Deadfire called Kaizo home. The outsiders were their contemporaries, full of wisdom, ingenuity, and terrifying ambition.
That sure sounds like the Ingwithans. Guess they got around.
The outsiders passed from the world. None of them remain.
Not all of them passed. We got the one they left behind.
The Old Ones and the Outsiders traded, collaborated, learned, and built together. Outsiders augured the doom of the Old Ones. The rift unmade them both. The Outsiders coveted ancient Kaizo. Its occupation was a hindrance. Machines were built on a foundation of outsider lies. When the machines were nearly done, the Outsiders constructed bodies of flesh and bone. Finally, the Outsiders fashioned a guardian to stand vigil over their work. Our bond with the Old Ones compelled us to trust their allies. They offered us a trade, eternal life for eternal service. We were ordered to slam shut the gates of Okaizo for all time. The outsiders vanished from the world, leaving the old ones dumbfounded. Quiet gave way to chaos. Storms battered the seas. The sleeping hearts of mountains awoke with fury. When the last screams of the old ones faded, only we remained. None but the green colossus whose every footstep disturbs tranquility. You are the first kith to visit the shores of Lost Okaizo, and you will be the last. Now you know, and nothing you have learned can spare you from our obligation. May your journey through the wheel be an informed one. You chose death when you set your bearing, traveler. Prepare yourself.
Stand together!
I cannot do
Stand together!
attack, Cap. Futile. Now you be right screwed.
better than that.
You see that, Ishi? Still got it.
That's my meat.
Just say the word.
handy, alright?
I'd be glad to. I can hold on.
See that beauty? Here, Maya. Ahoy. Yeah, you talk. Watch me work. Aye, aye. Well, this slice can't be more than half handy, alright?